Hello everyone, welcome back to Sonic and the Parallel Worlds. This is a 2-day event focused on the Sonic the Hedgehog series and the many excellent fan games and modifications that the speedrun community has picked up to run over the years. Before we get started, I just want to quickly remind you all that SGDQ 2023 is coming up May 28th, that's my birthday, to June 4th, that's Railcoon's birthday, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you're interested in attending the event, registration is still open until today, the end of today, May 7th. Go to gamesdonequick.com for more information. And if you've been watching this event on YouTube, if you're watching our VODs, be sure to press the like button to fill up the like bucket on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick if you're interested in looking at our live content, which starts weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. I am joined by the wonderful HUD601 and Argic, as we're going to be, we're about halfway through this schedule image on my left, your right. Sonic 3D and 2D is where we're at, and then we've got a number of awesome, incredible fan games, and, you know, then there's Somari 3D Blast 5. I love you, Nacho. Anyways, Huds and Argic, I hope y'all are doing well tonight. Thanks for joining me. How are you doing?
I just love that dig at Somari. Hey Amber, it's great to be back. I'm doing fantastically, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am I'm not at all distracted by watching the cat on screen whatsoever.
Yeah, I should probably point out what's going on up here. So I have two commentators with me for this run. I have the wonderful Scottish legend himself, Argic. Say hello.
Say hello.
Lovely. And I also have up here, this is Ted. He is one of my two cats. He is a Twitch streamer, believe it or not. He has his own channel at Ted601, just, you know, little plug. Unfortunately, he is currently asleep, so Arg, I think you're probably going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting on the comms today. I'm sorry.
Very fair. Understandable. I mean, I'm glad I could come here last minute, you know, able to help you out. I was marked as a question mark. You didn't know if it was coming or not.
And yet he was the first.
Why?
I assumed Ted was going to carry this one, but, you know, he's been asleep for a long time. I needed a backup, so thanks very much is all I can say.
Very fair. Very fair. He forgot to ask me.
I almost asked Argic, hey, are you actually commentating for Huds? Not knowing Huds hadn't asked him. Thankfully, Argic was already a runner, so getting him in on commentary, not so hard.
Look, I just assumed that Arg would be doing it, right? But anyway, the reason for Ted being here more than anything, aside from it being his GDQ debut, is that so that if the run goes terribly wrong, you have a distraction and chat won't notice that things are going wrong. So that's the plan anyway. Because, yeah, this is Sonic 3D and 2D. Oh yeah, we're here to speedrun and play Sonic games. This is a very difficult game. And this is a very difficult category. This is Sonic All Emeralds, and this has a rather interesting backstory, which I'm going to let Arg explain while I do the first level. So, without further ado, let's get this thing underway. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so yeah, welcome to Sonic 3D and 2D, specifically the All Emeralds category. Why the All Emeralds category? Because HUD sent me a challenge to try and learn the run of the All Emeralds category before, well, basically, do a 20 or 12-hour challenge, get a sub-hour run, and HUDs will be like, yeah, cool, and give me some gift subs. I was like, alright, sure. Fast forward a couple of months, Arg was like, wait a minute, I'm going to ESA. Why don't we do the challenge at ESA? That sounds great. So it's like, sure, I'll do that. While we're at ESA, people get a whiff of this idea and ends up becoming a bonus run on stream too. So what does any self-respecting streamer do? That's right, rope one of their friends into it as well. So I managed to rope Huds into also learning the category, doing his own challenge, and here we are today.
Unbelievable. So yeah, so now I run All Emeralds in 3D and 2D, and we're at our first boss here. This is Silver Sonic. I'm going to do a little strat here that lets us keep bouncing on him, and he's actually going to give us our first emerald. We collect it there, and then off to the end. So yeah, we actually start the game with all the emeralds. Technically, we're done at that point in time. But no, we get all the emeralds taken away from our Spyro Botnik, and we get our first one there from Silver Sonic. So we're going to need to do 5 special stages. We're going to get another emerald from a boss later on. Green Grove 2, we're going to see our first special stage here, and you'll see in a minute, the special stages are very special.
And by special, we mean hard. Ironically, Or maybe we just got good, I don't know. They're not as hard as we remember when we initially played them. Now, they are hard, they are familiar, but this, just imagine that if the original game these came from was this hard. So welcome to ye olde half-pipe. It's Sonic 2. Oh wait, where did those come from? So you've got the mines, you've got the rings, but here's the thing. The draw distance is really small.
What draw distance?
And, well, that too. And we're moving really, really fast. So it's like short draw distance or non-existent draw distance plus moving really fast equals not a lot of reaction time. However, we were able to do it, and we have got, as people say nowadays, good, and we're able to get the Chaos Emeralds. Now, to be fair to the developer of the game, they do throw rings at you. Literally just inundate you with rings, which is quite nice. So we don't have to worry about it too badly.
I mean, you do have to know where the rings are coming from in order to take advantage of that, though.
For the most part, because otherwise, blinking, you've missed them. But yeah, it does really throw rings at you. You'll see in a second, I think the third stage is I need 90 rings. Yeah, and I've got 156 already, so technically I'm done at this point. There's also very few bombs. The bombs do come here and there, but not enough to really cause a problem. What really makes this, I suppose, I don't want to say janky, but difficult at the very least, is that the controls aren't anything like the Sonic 2 half-pipe stages. For example, gravity doesn't really exist. I can just stay up here. As long as I press A direction, Sonic will stay on the roof. The acceleration is also doesn't feel right, and that's what really makes it difficult. It's getting a feel for the control scheme of those special stages. And as long as you can roughly remember where the rings are, you should be okay. I'm going to say should there, because there is one that is particularly difficult.
Right, we are going to go and backtrack a little bit here, because we are going to go and grab the rest of the emeralds. Of course, the idea in the game here, grab the emeralds as quickly as we can so we can take advantage of our friend Super Sonic here. But we do want to make sure we're going in a specific direction so we know where we're going. In this case, right to the boss. Here's the other thing about this game. Bosses are hard. Some of these bosses are taken directly from the 3D because, it's based on Sonic 3D Blast. It is a 2D-ified Genesis version of what if this game, but 2D.
What if this game, but 2D, but much harder also?
Oh, well, yeah, that was the thing, but much harder. The thing about it is, the bosses are actually one of the high points of the run. They are really well done.
Oh, yeah.
Also, good stage, wrong tune.
What do you mean wrong tune? This is the best
You know exactly what I mean. So this is, of course, the Saturn version of the game. And we do have the mechanic from the Rusty Rune here. It is the Ballerina Twirl. We need this to break some of the ruins here. These two specifically to allow us to go back into our next special stage. And of course, you can see just the world there. These half pipes are up in space. We'll have to phone the International Space Station and go house Sonic up there. Gotta grab as many of these rings as we can. Unfortunately, Amber, not the Chaos Cough Drops this time.
Look, justice for the Chaos Cough Drops. I stand by Sonic 3D Blast, original is the better game here, but this is a very neat concept for a game. I just wish it was a little more on the accessible end. Not as accessible or not as, easy to get into as, Fallen Star, so to speak. But probably, a little less, it takes a lot of liberties, we'll put it that way. We had Silver Sonic from the 8-bit games appear. That is liberties taken.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, the bounces that HUDs did there, they're a lot harder than HUDs makes them look. You try and get that, you're like, nah, you whiffed it. Goodbye.
Oh, I hate
Speaking of whiffing it, how are you doing with those rings, HUDs?
So this is the nice thing, is when you get these spirals that you're fine. So I needed 100 rings here, and I was just shy of it. Now I'm on 148. So yeah, remembering the patterns. I'll be honest, I never learnt the patterns of where the rings are because, as we said earlier, it just throws rings at you. And there's always one of those spirals to kind of save you at the more difficult ones. So I can't believe I'm about to say this. I'm going to jinx it for saying this, but since learning to run this, I've never failed a special stage.
Oh, well, there you go. Tempting fate right here.
Honestly, it just throws too many rings at you, and there's not enough bombs, in my experience. So. So yeah, it should be fairly straightforward.
I can already see the patch notes being written.
I don't know if the
Reduced rings, added bombs.
I don't know. All right, so the dev did have a number of complaints about these special stages because the physics aren't quite right. The non-existent draw distance, like the list goes on and on. We've already covered it. I don't know if they ever adjusted the special stage because I remember the dev being adamant that the special stages were fine as is.
He, as far as I'm aware, Sotonak has never adjusted them.
Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, that's why we're quite proud of this. Like, we got good. Like, we got good. And speaking of getting good, we are now going to go down the opposite side of the path here. Yes, that's right. We're going left in a Sonic game. Dun, dun, dun. But we want to stop here and fall down the bridge, but then run to our right quickly to go and find another special stage. Again, at the start of these, it is going to be a case of basically just we're going to go into the special stages. We're going to do the stuff. There's not much to talk about here. So I'm going to just bring myself right up close to the microphone here, as we do have beside Huds right there, our lovely little commentator. It is Ted601, the sleepy boy. Has his own Twitch channel as well, currently Twitch affiliate. You can follow there and watch the cat do some cat things, usually eating, sleeping, meowing, and having a grand old time. If you're good, maybe Huds will even provide a treat or two. Huds is currently losing it. This is great.
Don't wake the sleeping Ted, because if you wake the sleeping Ted, you'll be in trouble.
Also, don't wake the sleeping Ted, because if so, I can't turn that camera off, so you're just going to be looking at an empty pillow. And then my distraction is gone, and then chat will realize how bad I am at the game.
Is Argic trying to make Huds regret tempting fate?
I think so.
No, but I can.
You can say, while I'm doing the special stage, you have no idea how off-putting that.
I'm being a well-behaved boy. Right now,
This is what I get for not asking.
This is all. Have you heard of asking for permission?
I'm missing all the rings.
It's fine. You only need 180. In one. In two.
Oh dear.
Huds is giving up on not laughing.
This is special stage number 3. We have another 7 of these as we go through. And as we see, pinned by Richard in chat there, follow twitch.tv/Ted601. Or, I guess, twitch.tv/Huds601 if you want to.
Richard, what do you mean, I guess?
I'm just reading what is on the teleprompter. I'm just reading what is on the prompt. Please take it up with tech.
Shoot. Oh, dearie me. Right.
All right, we're going to go back to the stage right now. You might notice as well, we do have the Sonic 2 system in play here, where when you leave a special stage, you do have no rings again. The stage does effectively just reset. But now we're going to have fun with a little bit of a feature here. We're going to spin dash and break those walls, and then about turn, and we're just going to break this pillar here to get onto the spinny platform, and then just basically ballet dance our way all the way over here. Nice little jump at the end to get up onto the top route, as there are many routes in this game that you can go all the way through there, dodging the flame traps and that as well, taking out Vector the Croc there, and then a little button in there just to knock yourself all the way up the top. Another Chaos Emerald there, but we don't go for that one because it is out of the beaten path to go and get it. We thought it was going to be fast. Turns out there's faster ones, which is fine. But we do get to go and do the boss. So the boss on this one here, we've seen him before. You're seeing him again. That's right. It's Knack.
Who?
Or Fang. Knack and Fang. Same name, same character. Or different name, same character. Good English, me. So we got this boss here. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure you hit the boss and then try and get the insta-shield on him at the top of the explosion so you can just bounce left and right and keep him manipulated. I don't know if anyone else is seeing this or if it's just me, but I'm back and Knack's got a new ability there. He's just disappearing. Good old frame rate shenanigans there.
And shout outs to frame rates and, you know, just having things flicker every other frame.
Frame rates are hard.
Okay, someone else in chat heard ballet dance is belly dance. Okay, good.
Amazing. So yeah, one of the things you will notice, Nat was holding the blue emerald. If we hadn't have done the special stages, he would have been holding, I believe it's the red one, if you don't do the special stages. So the emerald that he actually has changes depending on how many you've done, but that now means we've got another emerald, and we have just one. I think it's one more to go. I can't remember.
It's just one more to go. Yeah, we only actually have to gather 5 in the game here because we get one from the first boss and then obviously one from Fang there as well. Now, this stage is a maze. Like, it is just a maze. That's it. If you don't know where you're going to have a bad time. The Knuckles statues here are trying to give you a little bit of a hint, and Huds is going to do a big old bounce up the top of this section here from this platform. I'm going to jump down and go kadoing, grab the fire shield, and then hopefully not lose it by getting bodied on the things that are moving here. So we're going to go through, we're going to go around. There are also going to be a set of speed shoes that we're going to grab here. And then from the speed shoes, we're going to go all the way back up to the top route. And want to keep us hold of these speed shoes right to the end. Because again, we're going to ballet dance. And we're going to make sure on this part with the speed, we're going to just hold the right direction there and straight over. Whereas if you don't have the speed shoes, you will fall down the hole and you'll have a hard time. There's that lovely mural there. There's a Chaos mural from Sonic Adventure, which I think is absolutely fantastic. But then we've also got the boss. This boss is just going for a little walk there. You know, he's just doing his workout. Left and right and left and right. And Huds is just donking him on the schnoz. And then that is going to be the end of that boss there. Again, another change up to how the boss is on 3D. Like, the boss is the exact same. It's just, it's slowing, like, puts his arms down to slam on you. Whereas there, he's going for a walk in 2D.
So one of the things you're about to notice is that the fire shield that I've picked up in this level, I will now carry it through to the next level. While it's kind of helpful at this point, there is going to be a stage later on where it's absolutely vital. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Here we are in Spring Stadium.
Hey, the inside of a clown's pocket. So this stage is actually not as bad as its 3D Blast counterpart. It's just red and white palette here, which is nice. Whereas in the other one, there's so much going on. You do look like you're inside of a McDonald's play pit. So we're going to run our way through and go around the stage here. We're going to make sure we get a part up the top there. And then when we go up and through, we're going to grab the invincibility here. We're going to carry the invincibility as far as we can because we want to make sure we go up on this spring. Do not take out that life, although we do have the fire shield, so we can just woof our way through it there with the fire dash, of course. And going to make sure you don't get crushed by the barrel, right?
Yes, definitely. I'm going to wait for the barrel.
Yeah,
actually, no, we're fine.
Straight up, straight through, right in, and special stage. All right. So we're going to go through now there, and as we do that, we're going to come back down to the corner here, as we have an update on Ted 601's position here. Ted was stirring just a little bit, has decided to turn around, and you get a glorious look at Ted's back now. The loaf is very comfortable. Do not disturb the loaf. Do not collect $200. Thank you.
So this is one of the stages. This is the purple one here is actually the one that I tend to find hardest because on these sections, when you go around the corners, they throw rings in completely random places, but then they give you lots of these nice spirals, which are absolutely perfect for picking up a big chunky number of rings. So yeah, 3D and 2D. The game itself, made by Sotanark, and as we kind of alluded to, the idea behind it is to reimagine Sonic 3D Blast as a 2D classic 16-bit side-scrolling Sonic game. The one thing that anyone who's played this, I think, would agree, it is a very difficult game.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first time I played it, it took me like 3 hours or something to complete it. It's really hard. It throws enemies at you everywhere. Some levels, like we saw in Rusty Ruin, are genuine labyrinths if you don't know where you're going. And the difficulty on the bosses only increases.
Hard things to talk about in these, isn't it?
Oh dear. One thing I will say about
this is normally where we just allow donations of that to happen.
Yeah,
but when you're not doing a donation, you're like, I don't know what to talk about. There's only so much you can talk about before you've done it all before.
Well,
one other thing I do want to mention though is the one thing that I love about this game, because it's definitely a game I have a love-hate relationship with. But the genuine reason I love it is because it's so difficult. It provides that difficulty like curve that very few other Sonic games can do. And I just keep coming back to it again and again and again because of that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we complain about it because we love it. It's one of those things. Like we're masochists. That's basically what it is.
Speak for yourselves. The difficulty curve is actually why I vehemently don't like this game. Like, as a casual player, like, I just did not enjoy it. But then again, I also speedrun and really, really enjoy Sonic 3D Blast despite its flaws. And I just, one complaint I always hear about 3D Blast is that people just don't like the isometric perspective. And I was like, oh, cool, a fan game came out that, air quotes, fixes that complaint that people have, right? And then it turned out it's just really inaccessible to the casual player because it's so difficult. And it's like, all right, I understand that's not what the dev wanted to do with it. They didn't want to make it an especially accessible game, but I just wish it was, so that more people would maybe think about playing the original 3D Blast and, instead of being soured further on it if they didn't have a good experience with this game.
That's understandable. You know what game it does encourage you to play, though? Sonic R. Here's Tails Doll. Tails Doll is actually getting an appearance. Looks like a nice, easy fight so far. Yeah, that's about to change. So Huds is doing some really careful manipulation here. Tails Doll is going to come and attack from one side. Once we get the hit, it'll do a counter attack. We're going to try and keep him in this loop here. That way we keep the manipulation going. If Huds drops a hit at any point in time, this fight can get really messy really quickly. But Huds there, absolute champ, nailing it.
That was really nice. Now, because I've got the fire shield, this does open up Knuckles' route to me. But it is a one-shot route, and if I mess it up, it's a soft lock, and I have to restart the level. It's also not on the route where I get the big ring, so I'm actually going to avoid doing it, and we're going to take the other route, the more traditional Sonic route, down here instead as a result.
Yep, because those Chaos Emeralds are more important. Again, we're jumping around on the floor here, trying to actually stay off the ground as much as possible at certain points, just simply because there are springs, there are bumpers, there are enemies. It is Spring Stadium after all. But this will be our last emerald, which means we get the fun thing of having Super Sonic. Don't get bodied by the springs. As we say, those enemies are a bit of a pain in the butt. But we are going to go to the top right here. We are going to then run our way across just to grab our final big ring here. And it is the stage where I'm going to go Super Sonic, because we've got another thing in here that allows us to get the rings. Yep, that's right, we've got another special stage that we can just go grab if we want 50 rings as well. It is off the beaten track though, so Huds probably won't go for that. We will just grab 50 rings on the rest of the game and then just enjoy what happens.
While we're stuck in special stage heck, I just want to remind you all that your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, your gift subs, and your bits that are cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel do help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed the daily speedrunning content, because yes, while Sonic in the Parallel Worlds is only a 2-day event, Hotfix is basically nearly daily.
Hotfix is deadly. You see that Mercy
Right, that's it. I've lost my job.
Absolutely.
I'm never going to be a Hotfix host ever again. Nope.
Nope.
Just
completely deadly.
It's deadly for some of us in Mercy Kill, isn't it, Argic?
It is. It most certainly is.
I have been mercy killed 2 out of the 3 times I've done it. I will do it again, and I will make it 2-2.
You gotta even the playing field there. But yes, I do host a hotfix show myself. Hypnotics hosts Going Places, which is focused on handheld and region exclusive games. I host Passion Project, which is every other Wednesday night following the Mercy Kill show that these folks just mentioned. And it is a variety speedrunning show that focuses on just, the things you're passionate about in speedrunning, whether it's like the current run you're working on, or maybe it's a randomizer you really like, or maybe you made a task and you want to submit that and showcase it somewhere. That is a great place to do it. If you use !passion as a command in chat, you'll get my submission form. I am always looking for new runs. My show is not deadly unless you're running a randomizer, where it sometimes goes off the rails and either ends wildly under or wildly overestimate.
Who do we know who's had randomizers go wildly under or over?
I wonder if that was Mendez. Maybe Mendez, maybe Ice Blue on my previous show, Never Before Seen, which was replaced by Passion Project. But seriously, go to the Games Done Quick YouTube. You can check out my old show, Never Before Seen. You can check out every previous iteration of the Sonic and the Series event, starting all the way back in 2020 with Sonic and the Shiny Things, and then, 2021 was side quests. 2022 last year was Glitchless Gauntlet, and then this is year 4 with our wonderful parallel worlds.
And as we're coming to the end of this final special stage, can I just say a very special happy birthday to Roman?
Yeah.
Obviously, you just saw his run previously. It is his birthday today. He is a wonderful, wonderful chap, so a massive happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday!
Now,
And congrats on getting all the Chaos Emeralds.
Right.
All right, that means we can now become Supersonic. Supersonic in this game, of course, does have the same abilities as Supersonic in the other games. You go faster, you are invincible, unless you get crushed or you manage to fall in the bottomless pit. And you're just going to have a little bit of an easier time with it now. Also means we don't have to wait on those special stages anymore, and Huds gets to do some other funky movement going through here. We're going to grab that invincibility just for safety, because we're going to run through the rest of the stage here. There is going to be a funky jump coming up. We're going to hopefully get a really nice way through it, but we'll see what happens. So we're coming up here. We're going to spin dash through the wall on the right, do the jump up, charge a big old spin dash, get a big old jump off the box, didn't get a high one there. Oh, he goes for the bounce instead. And now we play on the box. It's totally not working correctly. Get a nice big bit of height there, but way too much. So this time do it again. Go at the...
There we go.
Oh, no, got it there. There we go. 6 rings to go, 1 ring to go, and then you're going to be the super, you muppet.
I'm a ring. No, I'm not a ring short.
Hey! Cool transformation, and welcome to Tiny Arms. This is Tiny Arms. Tiny Arms can still crush you. Don't mess with Tiny Arms here. So Tiny Arms will drop down, and then you can get a whole bunch of hits on him. Tiny Arms can also just go left or right on the screen, and you get no hits, or he can just put his arms up and just defend himself. But he was quite nicely there. Also, you got to see that cool transformation. Just yeah.
I love the transformation in this. It looks really cool.
It is really cool.
I think it's cool. Did you know it can be stolen by an air bubble?
Yes, it can.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I saw that.
If you try
happen
and
to
transform underwater and you grab an air bubble, the emeralds just stay there.
No
Yep.
way. I did not know that.
Yeah, so we found that one. Anyway,
Oh, I wonder,
snowboard.
Argic.
It was me. All right, snowboarding section here. This is your mandatory ice level. Of course, it is a diamond dust. It also has our favorite shield in the game, Le Gold Shield. You're probably not really going to get to see much of that, though, because Supersonic kind of basically makes almost all the shields at this point irrelevant, unfortunately, just because the power that Supersonic has is a lot better. So Huds, of course, is going to try and go on these springs to go the route through the stage that is the quickest. We are going to launch ourselves over there. We're going to make sure we do not get ourselves frozen too much. As that immediately gets frozen. Good job. We have enough rings. When we land, we will transform for safety, just to get through the stage. And now we get to have the cool Supersonic sprite. And we're now going to jump off the side of the slopes here just to go up the quicker routes here using Sonic's increased jump height and speed. Not like that. So we're going to go through and we're going to go around in this area. So we're going to just jump up and through, jump up and in, and then jump this area and go through it. We're going to be coming up to the boss very, very soon. We're going to jump down here. Huds going to have to run all the way back up now because the game just stole the jump there. And there we go. That's a little shortcut through this stage here as well. A lot of these shortcuts are meant to be used either with their respective shields, but Supersonic makes light work of it. And here is Egg Robo with Gamma's Jet Booster. So we are literally just going to camp the corner here, and he ain't going to get out at all. Unfortunate fight there for the Egg Robo, but that's what happens when you go up against Supersonic.
So the next one in
Community has absolutely corrupted my mind, and all I'm hearing in half the songs is Tortinos.
Oh no. So in this one, we're going to grab a lightning shield. This lightning shield is going to be absolutely vital for our next level.
It is indeed. So this particular lightning shield, as with all Sonic games, it will magnetize rings to you. It will also give you the ability to double jump. It is that double jump ability that is significantly important. Huds is going to grab it in this stage and then basically have to carry it throughout the rest of the level here. Shouldn't be too bad with Supersonic. There you go, big ring there, giving you 50 rings. So we're going to about turn and then go up to the top route here. That is going to give us the lightning shield. So we want to grab that. We want to keep a hold of it. Supersonic plus lightning shield, of course, is very overpowered. I can't remember. Yep, you can still use the effect on Supersonic on this one, which is really, really nice. Something that I'm kind of not a fan of in the original games, but it is what it is. Imagine being able to use your active abilities of the shield you have while you're super.
Imagine. I quite like the fact that we can in this. I mean, it's very, very helpful for actually running it, but...
There we go. All right, we're going to go there, we're going to go around, we're going to go down. It's the boss coming now. We're going to drop some snowman, but it doesn't matter because we're going to hit the boss and take him out long before any of them actually drop. You're a lucky boy.
That was very lucky.
That snowman almost got you.
Wouldn't be the first time he's taken my shield. Oh, dear. Okay, so going through into Volcano Valley 1, the reason why having this shield is absolutely vital is this opens up Knuckles' path for us. Knuckles' path is nearly a minute quicker than Sonic's path, but we need the lightning shield to be able to do it.
But to make it easier, want to see the easiest special ring in the game? Hello!
Perfect.
We actually didn't know that one existed for like a good 3-4 months. And it wasn't until we were looking through the level maps, we're like, where is that? How do we get... Oh my god, it's right there.
Right at the beginning.
It's like right at the start. And then you get a second one. So we have more than enough rings we need to get through this stage. But you can see now, going to take Knuckles is right. There's where the lightning shield is needed. You're supposed to climb up the walls with Knuckles, or in this case, double jump with Sonic. Honestly, I think it's a really cool design, the fact that the lightning shield can be used to navigate these routes as well. So you are not just tied to taking this. Those walls, I can't remember. Are those walls also Knuckles exclusive? Or can normal Sonic spin dash through them?
Normal Sonic can spin dash through them, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so it's a case of just, are you good? There's a faster route for you. Speaking of faster routes, this looks like an auto-scroller. It's not. The lava here rubber bands. So Huds is going to try and be navigating up here as quickly as humanly possible at this point, using as much of the double jumps in that as we can to navigate our way through, up and over, because the fire will be coming right up, right behind us, and a big old jump up here, and we're literally at the top before any of the lava, and then suddenly it's just there.
Just the first hit.
So we are getting metal Knuckles here. Again, the Sonic R-Cast is coming out to play when the boss comes up. These effects are all supposed to be damaging, but again, because we're Supersonic, we are invincible. We don't have to worry about that. Last couple of hits here on this one, as then we're going to go and grab the hit, fall down, and away we go. And now it's time for Sota to lose lives. So there is a special glitch in this game that is just a quirk of the engine. It was completely unintended. You might have noticed there's no zips or glitches like we've seen in the classic Sonic games. That's because they generally don't exist, except on corners. You see these rocks in the game? The hitbox of these rocks are square or rectangular, but they have a little bit of a rounded corner on them. This allows us to do this. So Huds got into position there to run into the wall and then immediately press left or right. This allowed Huds to then basically go onto the corner and get pushed into the ceiling. When you're in the ceiling, the game says, you're not supposed to be here, zips you all the way up to the top, and that is the end of the stage, doing 2 zips just like that. So I did fix them, but after asking very nicely, did give us a code that re-enables the feature only in this level, I believe. So we now have the fire shield against the fire boss, where we have to hit 4 pipes twice.
It's a lovely moment. But yeah, I can't believe I missed that one. I missed my jump.
Wait.
Free time loss. There we go. Yeah, it's one of the really nice things about working with the developers, and the developers being really open to speedrunner feedback, is when we found this, obviously the first thing Sota wanted to do was patch it. It's a bug in the game. But it's so useful, especially on this level where it saves upwards of, 2+ minutes. Yeah, Sota was really kind to put it back in with us if we put a special code in for the shortcut when we launch it, which is Sota loses lives, because of the fact he always said that every time he watches someone glitch in his game, he feels like he loses a life. Bless him. But yeah, it makes really quick work of that level. That second one, though, you have to do mid-air. It's really tricky to set up. And takes a lot of practice to get it right. So you saw me get it 3rd try there, which honestly isn't too bad. And you need to be careful not to break the blocks you're doing that against, because if you do, you can't do the trick.
Exactly. Now, don't ask us how a fire shield works in the rain. We don't know. Fire and water don't mix, but apparently in this case they do. Welcome to Gene Gadget. Again, sticking with the Sonic 3D Blast theme that the game is based on, arguably one of the hardest stages in the game here, especially with the boss fights as well. So we are going to go through this stage, going to make sure we grab as many rings as we can as always. The first stage here, we are going to continue with the fire shield just to get that little bit of extra speed when we land on the grounds. We have a mixture of the lightning or the electrified grounds and the fans. The fans are arguably more deadly because they will take you out of fall form and have you careening right into an enemy that you didn't expect to see. So we're going to go through up on the fans here. Let's see if this little mouse is going to be in the way or if it's going to be a butt. It moves out of the way. Huds is great to go straight into the fire dash and through. We're now going to take a specific route through these tubes here. We're going to just double back on ourselves, heading up the stairway, and then we're going to make sure we hold left through here because we don't want to go straight up. And this is going to allow us to go to a faster route towards the boss. So doing the whole round the loop into the inside of the Gene Gadget before we fall down to the area with the tubes leading us through. So it's another 8-bit little knowledge here. You want to go in and you're going to take the same pattern. So you're going to come through, you're going to go down, you're going to go right, you're going to go down, you're going to go left. It is the same directions you need for the 8-bit games that is based on. We're now having the 5 Metal Sonics here. We have Mecha Sonic from Sonic 3. You've already done this earlier. Old Love running Sonic 3 AIR DA Garden mod there. Same fight. After 6 hits, the next one will appear. This is Sonic 2's Metal Sonic coming out here with a few added extra abilities. You may not see them on this one. The HUD's showing it off just for funsies. He can grab you and toss you around the world. And then we have Metal Sonic from Sonic CD coming in. Again, all these robots do have upgraded attacks as well. Silver Sonic from Sonic the 8-bit games is there once again. You would fight him in the exact same way you did in the first level. And then the last annoying one there, OC Do Not Steal. Actually, I think it came from the comics, I believe. That one's the worst. So Huds is saving a lot of time by having that one not appear.
Oh, yes. That actually wasn't too bad in terms of the RNG. If we didn't have Supersonic, that's okay.
Yeah, and that is all RNG, by the way. They are completely random. As far as we are aware, there are no ways to manipulate it.
Nope.
But here we go, on to Giga 2. So if you are a fan of Sonic 3D Blast, you will know about the Slope of Rage. The Slope of Rage still is in this game as well. However, it has been condensed into a 2D plane. So we're going to grab the lightning shield here, grab as many rings as we can, then spin dash our way through down the pipe here, and then we're going to have this area. However, because we have the lightning shield, the passive ability protects you from electricity, meaning the entire Slope of Rage is literally skipped. Sorry, Amber.
That's okay. It means that we can rage about other things.
Yeah, like the boss.
Exactly.
So we are going to transform into Supersonic once again. We are going to leg it through the stage. We know where we're going just because we've speedrun it before. Again, these stages are massive. There's a lot of maze-like features that you wouldn't otherwise know about. Like that double jump there. How would you know about that unless you've looked? But we're going to run our through to the area. Huds' main thing he needs to worry about here is not getting squished. And the reason for that is because the boss is a butt. And so's that door. But those doors didn't squish. Now we're going to get 4 hits on this boss. The boss is going to start dropping things down. Do not go where they are. Huds, stop it. If you go where those are dropping from, they will get you. Oh, you lucky man.
I do not like that boss.
Well. But yeah, if you are under those areas where those blocks are, they will just crush you off screen. And you will die. And that is it. But Huds is coming through into Panic Puppet now with a lightning shield to start with. This is good.
Yeah, the one thing that is worth saying, the Sonic Worlds engine has some very interesting takes on physics, especially in terms of how it rebounds you at times. So yeah, that boss is well known for causing massive headaches.
All right, so Panic Puppet here, we're going to run our way through the stages. Another thing you might have noticed in this game as well, that in Sonic 3D Blast, you have to free the flickies and use them to advance. In this game, we do not have the flickies to save, but there is a nice nod in here. There's the occasional flicky in a tube that you have to free. We don't actually have to free them. It's just a reference to the original game there. But Huds is going to be jumping on these cranes, taking a specific route through. The most important thing about this one is ring count. Because we have a very interesting boss towards the end of this one. We're going to grab that invincibility. We are then going to do a big old peel out and double jump onto the top right here. We're just going to jump once, jump twice, jump 3 times, jump 4 times, all the way up there to get as high as we possibly can to run towards our elevator and then leg it when we come out of the elevator, you're probably going to see a transformation very soon, just to be safe. But we also want to make sure we do not lose this lightning shield, and we do not lose these rings either. So now that we're invincible, we're pretty much good to go. We are almost at the boss fight, and if you're a fan of old school video games, you may recognize where some of these bosses are coming from. And I don't mean Sonic games. So round the loops there, just skipping over them just by jumping up the top, allowing us to get the double jumps here, round into our final elevator, and away we go. To the boss fight. 90 rings going into the boss fight here. Should be enough.
Yeah, should be okay.
See how it, yeah. So we have the machine grabbing the capsule. Oh, which game is it from?
What, the capsule?
Yeah.
I mean, it's our good friend, the Uwu Ball, isn't it?
What? Is it the Uwu Ball, though?
I don't know.
The Uwu Ball doesn't do
I've always
that.
assumed it was the Uwu Ball, is it not?
Really? Oh, wait, do you not know what game this is from?
No! I thought it was the Uwu Ball.
It is the Uwu Ball's design, but the boss fight mechanic, it's from Sparkster.
Is it
Rocket
really?
Knight Adventures, yeah.
Oh, I did not know.
It came from Rocket Knight Adventures. It's a really cool little fight. And then this boss is the Marble Garden just on steroids.
This is my redemption for all the times this boss has destroyed my runs and caused me nothing but pain. So, when we talk about difficult bosses, obviously that was trivial. The very first time I ever played it, it took me nearly 2 hours to complete that boss.
That boss is where I have seen a number of people just say, you know what, I'm just going to stop playing the video game.
Yeah,
just I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah. I spent a good like 2-3 hours on that boss as well. Supersonic trivializes that boss. And a neat little design touch as well. You do just fly as Supersonic. The way that fight is supposed to work is you're supposed to have Tails carry you, which gives you a limited amount of movement and absolutely no way to actually recover your rings. Supersonic there, though, just really cathartic. You're just like, I'm going to beat you up now and there's nothing you can do. As we come through, though, we're on the final stage here of the run. Or is it? As we go through on the nut, Huds spinning on the nut again. Going to grab the fire shield. Really important fire shield on this one. So we want to make sure that we do not get crushed by the nuts. That is a bad thing. Don't want to do it. But we also need the fire shield here for a big jump. Really big jump coming down a set of ramps here. If we do it correctly, we will save a lot of time. If we whiff it, we're going for a drink. So we're going to be making sure we don't go for a drink. You may also notice that there are not 50 rings in the stage that we're grabbing. No, because grabbing 50 rings is slow. So we are opting not to go for it and attempting the big old jump over here. There's the jump and nailed it. Will you get a good cycle though on the platforms? Let's find out. So platform is down 1, you're there. We're going to jump over 1, jump over 2, jump over 3, jump over 4. Not quite there.
That's
not
fine.
bad though.
I'll take that.
And again, the nice speed up on the nuts there, jumping over that shield because you don't want it to overwrite your fire shield. Again, using the fire shield just before you hit the nut there allows it to go super fast, which is good. And then we go down into the inside of the fight area here. This is where there is, again, a lot of things there. That nut will kill you if you're running too fast in the wrong direction. A very troll nut. But that is the end of the stage, basically. We're going to just do the spring just to run up this area, run back the other way. Basically not holding anything right now. The game is going automatic. And we get our final boss of the run. Big old shout-outs, of course, to the Knuckles Chaotix background there. And the fight here. First part, arguably the hardest part. Huds told me how to do this one. You want to keep the arms on the furthest sides to the left and right. Let them slam down and then cross over in the middle. Repeat, get 2 hits each time and allows you to go into phase 2. Phase 2, the boss has a Flammenwerfer, with which he will Werf Flammen. And we will just take no damage from it because, you know, we're immune to fire again. So same bit here, we're going to try and get 3 hits on each segment as we go through. And then we will drop down to our final phase where he's going to be firing his rainbow-coloured balls at us. And I think this is the updated version where it deflects balls now.
Yes.
Wait, did it not do that before?
No, and I lost my shield so many times.
Yeah, the shield never used to deflect it.
Again, just timing the jumps here. 1, 2, 3, wait. Yeah, imagine you're bouncing on that, quite the thing, and then one of those balls just says, no. No.
No.
But of course, because this is the All Emeralds category, it is not a true All Emeralds category without a final fight. And that is exactly what we are getting. Now, Huds, Denny with it.
I'll do my best. Yeah, we get the flickies come together. They create one final big ring.
But this big ring teleports us to the final fight. So here we have the final fight. This boss, 6 different phases. If you know this from 3D, he's going to have the fist lasers that come out. He's going to have missiles. He's going to have blue balls that come through. He's going to try and chase you. And we're going to have to take this out. You're dodging only 3 rings here with the flickies. Oh my god, amazing job, Huds. How did you manage to do that?
Oh.
What is this guy? Yeah, nah, we lied. We get the supersonic fight here. It is big old chase time. He is going to run off. Once again, the flickies are going to provide us the ability of supersonic, giving us 50 rings. As Huds is now going to try and boost towards the boss as quickly as possible. The rings alternate between the top and the bottom of the screen. Every boost Huds does will cost Huds approximately 3 rings. The boss will put up these blue and red alternating bullets there as a pain in the butt, and every time Huds boosts, it costs the ring. So we're trying to avoid getting hit by these as quickly as we can. Laser is really good. That is a smooth fight. Time is coming up.
Time.
When the screen fades out. Time.
And that's world record.
What is with this day? So many PBs and even a few world records.
So I don't know what the time's going to be showing on your side. On my side, it's 42:52.1. It's a 0.8 second world record, but it's still a world record.
I'm saying 42:51.3.
It's the smallest the margin. Oh dear. Ah. But yeah, hey, a world record's a world record. 0.8 seconds, I'll take it.
Let's go.
Yeah, everyone get your GGs out for Huds, although you're all, way ahead of me there. Like, excellent work.
That is fantastic.
I love running this game, but as I said, I also hate it as well, because this game has a habit of just throwing things at you. I'm really pleased, Arg, that you're always here to commentate these ones, because I am full-on shaking right now. The game just has a habit of, anytime you're on a good run, it just throws something at you.
No, it does. This game, like, I saw the conversations in chat there about the game and about intended difficulty versus just being unfair or being challenging. Everybody's got their opinions on this. Personally, I do feel like this edges on a little bit of the unfair, but at the same time, I do enjoy playing it because of that, because it's satisfying when you win. You know, just like this, it is satisfying when you win. But at the same time, we understand that that's not for everyone. But if you want a challenge in a classic style Sonic game, definitely consider giving this a go. Challenge Huds' record. You never know. You might beat it by 0.8 seconds as well in a marathon setting. Because goddamn, Huds, you are really good when it comes down to doing marathons. You are consistent.
I was going to say, within a second. Oh dear. No, that is, honestly, I love running this game. As much as I kind of hate on it occasionally for some of its janky physics and interesting mechanics. As I said earlier, it is one of the few Sonic games I've found that, even though I feel like I've got to the point where I've nearly mastered it, I'm still learning new things, and the game can still throw something new at me all the time. Yeah, the All Emeralds category, thanks for roping me into learning this one, Arg. Cheers, mate. It's an interesting one to do. I'd say the special stages are a little bit on the jank side in terms of the controls, but once you get used to the controls, as you kind of saw, they're surprisingly easy to get through. And when you get to some of the bosses, especially like the one in Panic Puppet 1, it's a great redemption moment after all the hours that I've spent losing runs and dying to it, and the frustration to have Supersonic for it and go, I'm invincible, come at me, it's such a relief and it's such a fun moment. But yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed that run. Please do go download this game and give it a fair shot. It is genuinely a great game, and it is a passion project for Sotanuk. He loves this. So big shout outs to him. Thank you for making this game. And also I just want to say a big shout out as well to Amber and to Hibby and to all the staff behind the scenes at GDQ for putting on, for the 4th year in a row, another wonderful Sonic marathon on GDQ Hotfix. We really appreciate you doing that and showcasing some of the great talent we have in the Sonic Speedrun community. Massive shout outs as well to everyone in Club 601, all the wonderful people that continue to support me in my endeavors, doing silly things all the time and bad ideas. And to my 2 fellow members of the Bad Ideas Club that are here with me, Argic, thank you for commentating. Amber, thank you for hosting.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I was happy to just sit here and watch another world record. This is not the first run I've hosted of this for you. You've been on, I think, Never Before Seen.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was when it was still Never Before Seen. I think that was right. And that was the any % category, and it was really awesome to have you do the all emeralds one, because I don't like all emeralds in this game, but I know that like you and Argic are both capable runners of it, and I was just like, you were the one who offered it, and I was like, hey, we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. It is a, it is a really interesting run, all things considered. So like, thank you for submitting it. And this is not the last we're hearing of you, hearing from you tonight, I hope. You're not going to be accosted by some, like, evil scientist, right?
I mean, I'm hoping not. I'm planning to be back a little bit later on. So, yeah, I'll see all of you then.
Yeah, you'll be closing out the marathon, but that's for a little while from now. Coming up next, we have... And also, Argic, did you want to do any shout-outs before we wrap up, since I know you won't be back?
Oh. Well, I'm just going to say, Huds, it is always a pleasure to commentate for you, mate. You know I'll always pull your leg on things like this as well, because it's easy. But I'm very glad you just said there that it feels really good to get redemption against a boss like that, because they're going to get redemption against you later on. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks very much. No, that's great. And yeah, just a quick one for me. If you want to see more speedrunning content like this, I predominantly do fan games. I am one of the fan game series mods. I generally stick to the 2D classic side of it as well. Come follow me over at twitch.tv/huds601. If you want to see more from this sleepy little loaf up here, follow him over at twitch.tv/ted601, where I stream loaf cam during the weekdays.
Yeah, there we go. I've gotten you shouted out and Ted linked, because I can't do 2 shout-outs at once. But yes, thank you both for being here. Coming up next, we have a really interesting case. We've had a bunch of fan games today after we had Sonic 3 air. But coming up next, we actually have Sonic the Hedgehog 8-bit, the Sega Master System version, but it's a remake. So it's a fan-made remake, very much in the same kind of idea as like Sonic 3 Air, Sonic 2 Absolute, Sonic 1 Forever, so on and so forth. Cowboy Knuckles, the lovely CBK, will be with us in just a few minutes, so stick around. We're going to go to a quick break while we get the next run set up, so we'll see you in just a few.